Hello, I'm going to be showing you a little bit about the Writing Reviser from the SAS curriculum. This is a really great program to insert your essays or even start writing your essay while you are able to learn a little bit more about maybe run-on sentences, fragments, verbs, and so on, and it pinpoints certain issues that you might need to work on and helps you to learn where you need to grow. So the web browser I'll be using is Firefox. I actually use Google Chrome, and the the Writing Reviser actually didn't pop up, unfortunately for me. So it seems to be working on Firefox, and I'm going to pull up the web page, which is sascurriculumpathways.com. And I have the Writing Reviser here, and it gives you basically some basic information. This tool will help you revise your writing. You'll learn how to ask questions. Experienced writers ask automatically, and as a result, you'll begin to express yourself with greater precision and power. So some cool stuff. It gives you, there's a little button here you can click on for a demo. You can either upload your essay or create an essay from scratch. What I'm going to do actually is just simply paste in my essay, and that's that. So I had it pre-typed and saved into a document, but I just copied and pasted it. And then it gives you some helpful information about getting started. Type your essay or copy and paste the existing text in the space at the right. And then you can review the format to be sure it's ready for revision. You can check out that box, and it gives you some helpful hints. Do not exceed 5,000 words, and sentences with a period, question mark, or exclamation point to make sure that the program's actually going to be pinning information effectively. Separate paragraphs with a blank line, and use the spell check feature. Misspellings can distort the results. And make sure to use regular fonts and not using crazy characters or symbols, or using lists or tables or images, because that can make an issue for this program. All right, so what I'm going to do, because I noticed that I don't have spaces in between my paragraphs, I'm going to just make spaces. And there we go. I'm going to click submit. Okay, so here we go. On this next page, it gives me the statistics about my little essay. And it gives me information about how many words I have, sentences, paragraphs, average sentence length, wordiness, all the way down to cliches and jargon, vague words, and so on. So it seems to me that I have quite a bit of editing to do in this 3-paragraph essay of mine here. But it's really great because otherwise I may not have been able to see these things without this program pointing them out to me. There are also other areas here. The chart, where it gives me a bar chart, which tells me the average number of words per sentence. Typical essays have 15 to 20. My draft has 27 words per sentence. So it seems a little bit obnoxious. Again, something for me to look back on and edit as well. It gives me a sentence list where it basically numbers my sentences, which is pretty good considering that I can use this to reflect on what sentences I might need to go back to fix up or I can reference to. This numbers box here puts numbers in my actual essay, which is also nice because, again, it gives me the chance to be able to reference back 2 lines in my essay. The research button is pretty neat. I can actually once you click on it, it says invalid selection. Before adding a research item, you must select text from your draft. So simply, I'm going to click OK. Then I'm going to click on that. I'm going to hit research, and then it gives me this little area where I can type notes in. So when I click submit, there's going to be a little sign near the word STEM, or that word STEM, where I can click or hover my arrow over it, and it will give me some more information. So basically, I'm just going to click here. I'm going to just put down other, and I'm just going to put down that it stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. And that'll be that. Now I'll click submit. And notice there's a little star here, and it just gives me some research notes: science, technology, engineering, and math. So that's helpful for someone who may not know or not be familiar with the term STEM. And now they know that it stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. All right, and then I can also click this preview box, and it says here's a preview of what your draft will look like when saved. So it gives me my purpose, which I actually didn't get to yet, and I'll get to that in a little bit. And it gives me the essay with the numbers and a working draft and so on. So nice little preview of my essay so far. So my purpose, as you notice the word STEM, this little essay is about futures in STEM careers, and my audience will be my classmates. What's also neat is that over here, the getting started, it says to state your audience or purpose and audience. So purpose, it gives you some more information. Okay, have I kept my purpose? Which is good because when you're writing, you can reflect back, oh, have I kept my purpose of talking about futures in STEM careers? If yes, that's great. If no, maybe you should go back and fix up your essay. All right, and then it goes also into purpose. Okay, a little bit more. Your purpose is your reason for writing. So it gives you a basic definition and a little bit more of an explanation here, which is really, really helpful for people who need that extra push. So I'm just going to go back to focus. I can click on audience. And again, it gives you some key questions here to help you with your essay. Have I kept my audience in mind? Which is my classmates. So I'm writing towards my classmates. Have I remembered to write gearing towards my classmates? Are there better ways to communicate with my audience? Is my essay making people fall asleep? And you can again click on the audience button, and it will let you know what or who your audience should be or is. All right, so I'm going to go back to focus. And then I think I'm okay in this part here. I'm actually going to move to essay structure now. And it gives me different areas here: intro, body, conclusion, organization. So I'm going to click on my intro. And it says to evaluate your introduction, follow these steps. Highlight the introduction and click submit. So I'm just going to choose this first paragraph as my intro for the moment. And I'm going to click submit. And it gives you some information, or actually just pops up your introduction in this box here, so you can read it. Then I'm going to click OK. And at the bottom here, scrolling down to points 2 and 3, it gives you some key points that you need to remember to place in your intro. Have I stated my purpose? Have I kept my audience in mind? Does my thesis identify my topic? Does my thesis create an expectation I can meet? And so on. And then I would revise as necessary. So I would typically go through that, fix it up, and that would be that. And it would actually even give me some more information about introductions. And again, it gives me definition to clarify and to create an interest as well. So very helpful information, especially being that introductions and conclusions can be quite difficult to write. All right, and thesis statements, very important. So you can click on the thesis statement because that should always be in an introduction. So we want to make sure we have a good thesis statement. Does it create a clear expectation? Does it specify main idea? Is it appropriate for the purpose, audience, and length of the draft? Okay, so it gives you some really great hints and great words here that can benefit the person writing their essay. So after I went through my introduction, I'm going to go back to structure. I'm going to go into body, and this will talk a little bit about my body paragraph. And my body paragraph is going to be this second paragraph. All right, and I'm going to click submit, and it pulls up my body, and it's giving me some information. No supporting details found. Please highlight the topic sentence. So this is good because if I were actually going to submit this for an essay, I would have to go back and fix up my body paragraph because it's a very poorly structured paragraph. So It gives me some information, review the topic sentence, revise the paragraph, repeat process. And it gives you some really good information about topic sentence and supportive details. Okay, are they sufficient when you have provided enough information? Are they appropriate when each detail relates to the topic? And it gives you helpful hints for using quotes to support ideas, gives you information about revising and editing, all that great stuff. And then it also gives you information about adding research, which is also very helpful because I know that can be difficult, especially for my middle schoolers, knowing that it is hard to insert maybe quotes or information found outside of what they might know. And it also gives you hints about adding your own research and information in your essay, such as right here, what I did with the word STEM. All right, so I'm just going to leave my body paragraph for now. I'm going to just go into conclusion. So I'm going to highlight my last paragraph, which I'm just going to call my conclusion for this purpose. Then I'm going to click submit, and didn't give me any errors, but here is my conclusion for now. And then I'm going to click OK. And then it gives me some more helpful hints. Have I supported my thesis? Going back to my introduction. Have I done what I promised in my introduction? Have I provided a clear ending? Have you provided a clear ending here? And then we're going to revise as necessary by typing into the draft. So if I find any issues, I would go back in here and fix it up. And it gives you, again, some more information about conclusions. All right, clarifying your thesis and why it's so important, and so on. And again, conclusion writing can be so difficult. No matter how much practice you get, it's hard to tie up an essay and make it sound, close up nicely and make the rest of the essay make sense. All right, so I am going back to structure, and I also have this extra box for organization here, and again, just making sure my essay flows and is representing paragraph form. So I have sentence economy, and it goes into wordiness, passive voice, repeated words. I can click on any one of these boxes, and it gives me, for example, my repeated words. I have a whole bunch of repeated words here, and it gives me the count. And, this is really good because it really gives me an idea of what I can do to make myself not so repetitive, and so on. All right. What I also like is that when I click on some of these things, it will highlight the words for me, so I know where to look to fix up these ideas in my essay. So for example, in this day and age, that's pretty wordy, so I can probably fix that up as well. Pretty wordy. So, and it gives me an idea, okay, how can you make your essays flow a little bit better and not sound as wordy. So again, I really like the idea of how it gives you the wordy idea and a better idea. That's a little bit more simplified and to the point. So going back to economy, I have sentence variety, simple sentences, fragments, run-ons. So pinpoints where my sentences might need extra attention. So here I have some run-on sentences for me to reflect upon and fix up. And again, here's a little section here to talk about run-on sentences. Sentence power. I could talk about my weak, or I can see my weak and hidden verbs. So again, it highlights it, can give you, and then you can kind of go back in and fix up my weak verbs. And then sentence clarity, very important. Cliches and jargon. So I can go in here, it'll highlight it for me, gives me some more information to fix it up. And again, it gives me some more information about how I can make my paragraph or my essay more professional sounding. So after that, I go to finish. I can either save, print it, or send it. I'm going to click save, and I can type in my name and class and hit submit, and then I'm all good. So again, I find this is a really great program to use in the classroom, even for myself possibly, and really something great in the future for all teachers.